And here it is, guys, 2025 Toyota Camry XSE. Thanks to Seminole Toyota in Sanford, Florida, I'm going to be able to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to check it out from the exterior, powertrain, technology. Everything is brand new on this vehicle, so stay tuned. And if you like watching videos like this, don't forget to check out the rest of my channel. Give me a like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to turn on that bell notification ring bell so you won't miss some of the content that's coming out. Now let's get back to this. Toyota Camry definitely needs no introduction. One of the best-selling Toyotas of all times gets redesigned for 2025 model year. Although if you look at it from a distance, you can see a lot of similarities to the previous generation, which is a good thing. You can still tell it's a Camry, but it's got a brand new look. As far as the front end, kind of reminds me of a Prius. We have this brand new, longer hood with this rise right here in the middle, couple grooves on the sides. Ending in this longer nose, you have the Toyota logo right in the middle, more of a spindle looking grille, kind of like on some of the Lexus model. We have some piano black. Now, by the way, if you like the color of it, this is brand new for 2025. They call it Ocean Gem. And we also have the brand new lights, all LED as far as the turn signals, daytime running lights, and of course the headlamps. Down here, a little bit more sportier design, especially right here on the corners. You also have the open air curtains allowing the air to pass through for better aerodynamics and performance of this vehicle. Now, let's take a look and see what powers up this thing. And here's a brand new setup. 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine, 5th generation hybrid system. With the front-wheel drive, you have 2 electric motors in the front. With the all-wheel drive, you get an additional motor in the back. Total system output for front-wheel drive, 225 horsepower. On the all-wheel drive, you get a few horsepower more at 232. Made it to an ECVT transmission with the pedal shifters, so it does have more power than the outgoing generation. Now, not the V6, of course. The V6 is no longer available, neither is the four-cylinder non-hybrid, so this is the only engine options. We're going to see how it drives at the end of this video. Now, you still have this ugly prop stick on the side, but you do have some sound insulation, and that should definitely make up for some nice and quiet ride. You're definitely going to like the gas mileage. We're going to talk about it in just a little bit. Here on the side definitely looks similar to the previous generation one. The size of it hasn't changed much. 194 as far as the length, about an inch longer than the previous generation one. We have 72 inches as far as the width of this vehicle and 57 as far as the height of it. The wheels on this particular one, we have the 19-inch wheels, all aluminum wheels, of course. We have the gunpowder metal on the face of the wheel and the black inside of it. You also have, of course, 4-wheel disc brakes. The XSE gets a sports-tuned suspension, but there's no adaptive dampers or anything like this. Now, this is a two-tone color, so you have the piano black roof, basically, with a lot of piano black accents, including the mirrors on the vehicle. You have the turn signals in the mirrors, blind spot assist, and you have the keyless entry system. So as long as the key is somewhere on you and you get your hand inside of the sensors, you can unlock or lock the door. A little bit more sportier side skirt, but overall not much has changed. The one cool thing on it, that you do have the panoramic sunroof on this particular one. It is an option, but it is available, which it wasn't for the previous generation hybrid. Here in the back, you'll find the brand new taillights. They're all LEDs. I'm glad to inform, because in the previous generation, the turn signals and the reverse lights were still incandescent. By the way, you'll find that on the base model Camrys too. So in the LE, you still have the incandescent light bulbs, but not on the XSE. I like this whole setup on it. Nicely sloping glass. You have the shark fin antenna. You have the trunk lid spoiler in black. You also have this black trim that goes across the entire width of the vehicle. Camry spelled out. Then we have the HEV. Of course, this is hybrid electric vehicle. XSE on one side. You have one exhaust on the left-hand side, diffuser style bumper, and then you have the reflector lights right here at the bottom. Rear view camera. Let's pop the trunk. Let's see how much space we have. And here it is, guys. Before we look inside, let's take a look. In case you get locked up in this vehicle, there is an emergency release. See, it opens up the trunk, then you have to jump up and run from the bed, guys. Now, as far as the roominess in here, there's a lot of it. Now, we have a deep trunk. There's a room for definitely a couple regular suitcases. Underneath here, this is the tools and the jack to remove the spare tire, which, by the way, is underneath here, so there is a spare tire on this vehicle, and the seats fall down. Yes, we do have the 60-40 split. You can actually do it from here, release it, but then you have to push it in order to actually move the seat down. I think the seat belts are on, so that's why the seat is not actually falling down. There's nothing else inside of this trunk compartment. Let's move inside. Here's the rear door panel, guys. Nothing too crazy about it, but we have this trim that kind of breaks down the black inside of it. We have the padded armrest and the padded inlay right here. We also have the window controls, which of course is covered by the sticker. This vehicle got some tint on it, so that's why we can't really roll it down. But you have the speaker, a little bit more storage in the bottom of the door. And now here in the back, we have the leather trimmed seats. Now this is what it says in the sticker, so this is not man-made leather. Apparently this is the real thing. And now we have the armrest with the cup holders. Down here, a slight bump right in the middle for the third passenger. We also have the vents. We have the USB type C, I believe. Nope, this is still type A and type C. Okay, so we have both USB type A, type C as far as the connectivity, and both seats have some seat back storage. Now, this is how you fold down the seat, pass through to the trunk. Let's see how I can fit inside. I'm 6 feet tall, almost 6 feet tall. This seat is adjusted to my regular driving position. I have plenty of room. Be honest with you, I have probably about 2.5 inches in front of my knees before I would hit that front seat. I have about 1.5 inches, about this much above my head, so no shortage of room. Plenty of shoulder room as well, so definitely 2 people can fit in comfortably, but because of this bump in the middle, the third person might not be so lucky. Let's check out the quality of the belt. Let's listen to the sound of the closing door. It's okay. I mean, I'd probably give it about 7 out of 10. Not bad at all. Now, as far as the front door panel, it gets a little bit more interesting. We have this perforated leather trimming around here. We also have this padded armrest. This is softer material, and so is the one on top. So definitely more work went into the front door panel than the rear. Then we, of course, have the window mirror lock controls. A little bit more storage down at the bottom, and a speaker. The seats are power for both driver and passenger. Leather trimmed. I like how this blue peeks through the perforation of the seats. They're nice and comfortable, to be honest with you. And let's take a look on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. That's where you'll find several buttons for automatic headlights. Now we have the traction control, we have the dimmer, we also have the trunk release and the gas tank release, and the brand new steering wheel. Let's jump inside, I'll show you the rest of it. One of the complaints I had about the previous generation Camry, that it was dated, and definitely it showed. Now, Toyota fixes all that with this brand new design. We have 2 large screens, but let's take a look. This trim, really nice and sporty, kind of piano black. Not my cup of tea, but it definitely is different. Now, you have the soft touch material on top of the dashboard. Here we have the big 12.3-inch screen, 12.3-inch screen for the instrument cluster as well. Nice steering wheel, nice and soft. We have some stitching on the inside. It's thicker in the right places. It's got a good grip on it. Overall, a good job on that. We have the Toyota logo in the middle. On the left-hand side is what controls what's going on in the instrument cluster. You also have the volume button and the voice control. On the right-hand side, you have the cruise control and the different modes for your media as far as the seek track type of deal. Now we also have the pedal shifters, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, and here's your brand new instrument cluster, all digital. On the left-hand side, you have the hybrid system. See where the power is coming or going. Now it says 6.6 miles per gallon, so it's probably a good time to tell you what it should be. So Toyota claims it's 47 as far as the front-wheel drive XSE, 48 in the city, 47 on the expressway. It's a good gas mileage for the vehicle. And if you're wondering what these lights are on, let's see, let me let my foot off the brake. These are your brake lights. Kind of a strange deal, but that's what Toyota does. On the right-hand side, you have the speedometer, and as you can see, it goes up to 160 miles per hour. I dare you. Well, in the middle, we see the settings. So let's see, click Okay, to select, here's your safety feature. So you have the lane departure warning, blind spot monitoring, pre-collision sensing. We have the rear cross traffic alert, sign recognition, vehicle settings, meter settings. Let's see, let's go to meter settings. Select, you can select different language units, meter type, meter style. Okay, let's see what that is. Okay, we can have one gauge if you wanted to, right in the middle. This is pretty cool, actually. I think I like this design better. Let me get out of here. Go back to the main screen. Yeah, I like this. Kind of everything is in the middle. So you do have the speedometer right there. You also speed displayed in there. As far as the settings, okay, what else we have? You can select 3 different clusters, right? So right now we have the adaptive cruise mode, EV driving ratio 60%, adaptive cruise mode. So different settings for 3 different instrument cluster displays, and you can basically select which one you want for any given day, right? Okay, so this is your instrument cluster. Definitely an improvement from the previous gen. This is the new Toyota infotainment system. We've seen it on several different vehicles. I am not going to set this up. We're going to leave it in the demo mode, basically. And I know I'm not going to be able to show you, for example, the navigation, which is a subscription-based navigation. So it's going to ask you to subscribe to it. As far as the media, we have the AM, FM, Sirius XM. You can also connect your phone wirelessly. Of course, here's your climate control, comfort, trip information, vehicle alert. So same features you see on all the newer Toyota models. Now, an important thing to mention too, you have the wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Down here at the bottom, you also have some shortcut buttons for your climate control. As you can see, it does have heated seats, but no ventilated seats, which would be my complaint here in Florida especially. It would be a nice feature. Now, this is a dual zone automatic climate control. You have the automatic as far as the heated steering wheel as well, so that's where you can turn that on. Of course, we're not going to do it with 90 degrees. Here's your hazard lights. And then before we scroll down here, let's move it to reverse and let's see how the rear view camera looks. So it takes up most of the screen, okay, but I think it's still the old type camera. It does have a good quality, though not the greatest, not the worst, kind of in the middle. And then you have the 2 different angles. You also have the active trajectory line. Down here at the bottom, you have the USB Type-C, USB Type-A for data, basically. Then you have the wireless charging, which, by the way, I think comes standard on pretty much all of the new Camrys. A lot of storage in here. I can put another phone in here, 2 cup holders. Here's your regular shifter, kind of like this. I'm glad they didn't go with the hybrid shifter that they have in some other models. So you have the regular PRND, and then you have the Sport, which you can shift the gears to. Well, of course, simulated gears as far as the shifting here. So you have the Eco, Normal, and Sport. These are your different driving modes. You have the brake hold here. Push that, and as long as you push the brake hold, you can release it, and the vehicle won't roll, won't move forward until you press the accelerator. You have the EV mode here, an electronic parking brake, and we have a bunch of stuff in here. So let's see, an additional 12-volt power outlet and a storage. Here's your home link system right here. This is how you open your sunroof, or panoramic sunroof actually. Shade that goes all the way. We have the decent sized panel that we can slide open. You have some windscreen over here as well. And then up here you also have the light controls. This is basically the old style light controls. Nothing has changed in here. Let me actually close this shade. Illuminated mirrors. The illumination is right up on top. And you have the extended visors in here in case you need it. This is a big plus in my book because there's usually sun that's shining right through this gap and right in your eye. So big plus. Overall, very nice interior of this brand new 2025 Toyota Camry. Well, let's talk about pricing and take it for a spin. The vehicle is running, it's in gear, it's ready to go. Let's talk about different trim levels available. LE is the first trim, and $29,495 is the base MSRP on it. SE $31,795, XLE $34,495, and XSE $35,695. This is the top of the line, guys, even though there are a couple of features on the XLE I wish the XSE had, one of them being the memory seats, but this is the more sportier design. By the way, this one has a couple options on it. One of the options is the panoramic glass roof for $1,330 and the two-tone midnight black metal roof. So two options were added onto it, and a couple options at the distribution centers like the clear paint protection, mirror backs. MSRP, that's what's on the sticker, $38,313. For pricing, call Joe at Toyota. I'm going to put the phone number and the website in the description of this video, so you can definitely contact him and find out what these vehicles are selling for. The wheel all the way to the left, let's make a circle. It is nice and tight, definitely. Now, Toyota claims that this has a sportier tuned suspension, and let's just see of how this vehicle turns on the corners here. And that's not bad, actually. Not bad at all. Very quiet. I'm not even in the EV mode. This is the regular mode for the vehicle. I just put this full EV mode. It's quiet. The only thing you can hear is the hum of the AC system, which is really nice, by the way. It cools down the cabin really quickly. We're at about 90 degrees already here in Sanford, which is just north of Orlando, for those of you who don't know. And let's take it for a quick spin to see how this vehicle handles on the road. Big windshield, nice mirrors, no complaints about the visibility. Shouldn't be any issues in merging in traffic. You get the power right away. And of course you can hear the engine. I'll put it in the sport mode. You have a little bit redder display. And here it is. You can hear the electric motors too, assisting the gasoline engine. That's a good thing. It's a brand new vehicle. I'm not going to beat on it. We're not going to do like a 0 to 60 or anything like this. However, I got it up to about 52, 53 miles per hour with no issues whatsoever. It's still very nice and quiet. I like the ride quality of this vehicle. The suspension, it's almost not like Toyota. Toyota usually have a very soft suspension. This one definitely gives you a little bit more control of this vehicle. And with that said, I kind of wish that the seats were slightly more supportive on this model. They're very nice and comfortable, but if you take corners, especially at the higher speeds, you're probably going to be all over the place. Overall, I'm very impressed with the way that this vehicle looks, the way it drives, and quite frankly, coming into this review, I had mixed feelings about it. I actually thought that this is going to be a very boring hybrid vehicle. It's none of that. It's fun. You know, it's got 50 miles per gallon almost. How can you beat that? You don't need an electric vehicle when you have a hybrid system like this. You get tons of miles per gallon. You have a fun performing vehicle. You don't have the range anxiety, so you don't have to worry about draining the battery. You have plenty of room for 5 people on the inside. I think Toyota's done a great job on this brand new Camry. Let me know what you think about it. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you learned 1 or 2 things. If you're a subscriber, thank you very much for being part of the Carguy family. And if you haven't done so yet, check out the rest of my channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on that bell notification ring bell, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.